Hello everyone, this is Garrett, and this is Serious Sam 2, and we are about to do level 28, the Castle of Rock. And this is probably my favorite level of this planet.
We need to find 4 of the greatest singles of all time if we want to impress the king. Have a look around, see what you can find.
Yeah, there's only one true king.
And granted, there's really not much competition for my favorite level on this planet, but still, I kinda like this one. So as we move on, a bunch of clowns are gonna spawn kind of all over the place. I'm not really gonna pay much attention to them because they're not really a real threat most of the time, honestly. They just sort of ride around. When they do get pretty close to you, they'll usually go for you, but other than that, they don't really do a whole lot. But yeah, you have to get 4 records. They're all called Nuke Me Bender by something records. Kind of hard to read. It's pretty small text, and I don't really remember what it actually says myself, so there you go. And we are just gonna make sure to get all of them. Also, there is a coin that spawns here. Has kind of an Elvis looking head on it. Sometimes it explodes, but usually it should just respawn if you wait a little bit. At least I think it does. Okay, yeah, there we go. If that didn't respawn, we would be in trouble, really. There's a secret attached to that coin, and I'll be showing that off in a second. But for now, I guess we're focusing down clowns because they're all coming towards us suddenly. Usually they don't do it that aggressively, but this, I guess, is one of the rare exceptions where these clowns actually do anything at all. But as we move closer in that general direction, it's gonna spawn a bunch of these arachnids, which is kind of scary with these clowns suddenly all becoming dangerous as well, but they don't have too much health. They do still die in a single double-barreled shotgun shot, so as long as we just decide to take a little bit of damage, we're not in any danger whatsoever. We could just switch to the minigun if we were really getting scared, but I'm not that scared. Not right now, at least. Also, there's 50 health up there, and that's another reason why I'm not too terrified. So around this hedge, there is another Nuke Me Bender by LM Mental. Mental Records. I didn't even know that until now. But now I've actually decided to read what it says. And now I'm a little bit wiser on Serious Sam mythology and lore and whatnot, whatever you want to call it. It's not important. We're just here to collect some records and move along. Every now and then killing a clown, which is showing up in rather large numbers, but I think we should be running out of them fairly soon, given the rate we're destroying all of these guys. But that's not really an issue. What we have to worry about right now is to get that coin to the middle. And that's exactly what we're going to do. We're just going to pick it up with the use key and take it to that Gnar over there. And some clown spawns over there, so I'm just going to throw it in his hat. Or on his hat. I think that's enough. And indeed it is. And he starts to play the saxophone.
Gnar secret has been found.
And it is the Johnny Lee Gnar secret. I think Natriska actually just called it Gnar, didn't she? And the dude in the cutscene called it Gnar. Well, whatever. I'm not going to focus on that. Maybe we both have it wrong. I don't know anymore. All these pronunciation things are weird. All I'm going to worry about is saying that if you kill him, you will not be able to get the secret anymore. Also, it spawns a couple things, so you probably don't want to do that. But, you know, sometimes it's fun to destroy the enemies, even if they're not the enemies. Even if you only just disagree with their musical taste. And that was exactly what was going on here. So, now that we've gotten X amount of records, we are going to go in this direction where the remaining 2 are. So I guess we have 2 records right now, otherwise that statement wouldn't make a lot of sense. And the third one is hiding over here. Not really a lot to it. I think it spawns like 1 clown after picking it up as well. That person spawns out of the bushes. It's kind of scary, but we were prepared, sort of. We killed it at least, so there's that. And there is a bunch more stuff that's going to spawn in that general direction in a second. I'm just going to grab that ammo because it was just flying around there. I've never really paid attention to all the other, like, flying things. I guess those might be the only ones that actually have something in it. But as we move closer, and also
Treasure has been found.
secret treasure over here, not really very relevant at all. It's just there. Once we move closer, it's going to spawn more clowns. They're going to be jumping in towards us. And I actually kind of like using the minigun here against these guys because they do sometimes get a little bit too close for comfort, but there's only a couple of them, so just do whatever you want, honestly. It'll probably be okay. And the last record is hiding right there. And picking it up opens the door somehow. The door which is very close to this final record, which is why we chose to pick that one up last. And it takes us to this next area over here, where we're going to switch to the sniper rifle, because it is very dandy against these guys. There's a couple of these footballers, and they usually come in small enough numbers that you might as well just use a shotgun. And then switch to the sniper rifle, shoot them once, and they die very quickly. The third and last secret of this level is hiding in this well.
Secret item has been found.
You have to be pretty close to it before it triggers. Also, it's actually kind of tricky to even get in here. But if you just jump and then crouch in midair, sometimes you'll go through, so that's good. Also, there's a whole bunch of boxes here. You can break all of them. I don't think any of them actually have any enemies inside them, so that's good. So you can just sort of destroy whatever you want here. You can also use the boxes to stack all the way on top of that rooftop. And that way you'll be able to see the void, and it's not very exciting. There's an invisible wall blocking you from really going anywhere. You can also stack up a whole bunch of these boxes to get to the next area, but you'll be stuck forever due to the fact that there is a trigger on this side that you need to hit before you can go to the end of the level. And you'll just sort of be stuck in that next area, and it's not... There's a lot of things you can do, and it's just not very exciting, honestly. It doesn't really do a whole lot, and that's why I'm not showing it off right now. We're just going to focus on killing all these guys, because we gotta kill basically everyone here.
Another key is required. Let's start looking.
There's gonna be a lot of these zombies, stockbrokers spawning over here, but they're all spawning one at a time. If we just stand somewhere over here, usually they won't be shooting at us ever, as long as we just do this correctly. There's also a couple still standing in front of the door, like the next door over there. There's like 3 of them, all surrounding this one little guy. But we saved him, and if we wait long enough, he's going to drop a key. I guess I'm just going to pick up some stuff, because it actually takes quite a while before he even has the key in his hands. And then it takes a little bit longer for him to throw it as well, and, you know, might as well grab some of the extra power-ups over here while he's doing his little bow and dance. It's mostly just a bow. It's basically the exact same thing.
Castle of Rock. Go and see the king.
Let's rock this party.
The exact same thing that the girl in the sewer levels did. She just took a bow and just went on her way. And picking up that key is the trigger to open this door and to spawn the next set of enemies. And also a bunch of ammo, all that good stuff. Absolutely nothing to fear here, except for a bunch of arachnoids, but this time we're going to use a sniper rifle to take them out. Sniper rifle is actually pretty good against these guys. I kind of figured that the moment that there is a level where I said the sniper rifle isn't too great, that we get an immediate opportunity to use it quite frequently. Also, there's going to be a lot of NPCs that are going to be helping us during these battles in this particular area. This is actually the last area of the level already. We're just going to be fighting here for a while. And that door is just going to continuously respawn like NPCs with weaponry. So, yeah, the enemies will usually fixate on trying to kill those guys first. And that's quite useful due to the fact that it makes everything a lot less scary. Now, just about every single enemy that appeared in the previous Serious Sam games that made a reappearance in this game has been a bit lackluster. And in this game, at this level, I mean, the Harpies spawn. And they're just about as lackluster as all the other enemies that are recurring enemies from the Serious Sam series, honestly. They're kind of the same as they were in the previous Serious Sam games. The only rather important differences are that they don't seem as aggressive and they don't use their ranged attack as much. So they don't really do anything anymore, honestly. They do get pretty scary when they're really, really, really close to you, but overall, they just sort of fly around. They don't really use their ranged attacks if they're too close, and they don't use their melee attacks when they're too far away. And it just ends up being this sort of weird mess where they don't really do anything at all ever. And they used to be really scary, and in this game they're just a joke, honestly. They are not really worth mentioning for the most part. I think one actually just did a melee attack on me, so I guess one did actually come close enough, and indeed. But it's just a mess. And also, due to the fact that there's so many NPCs here, like those little guys with the guns, they usually just fixate on trying to kill them first, and you just sort of sit around here and kill them. Not the most exciting enemies, but what are you gonna do? There's, it's an introduction of a new enemy type, and I guess we should be grateful of that, but even my favorite level of this planet has a little bit of disappointment inside it. Also, you can destroy this entire stage, but it doesn't really do anything, so I might as well just keep it in one piece. You can also throw stuff around if you hit keyboards, and that's the one thing you can do. But after a while, it's going to spawn a bunch more clowns, and it's also going to spawn a bunch of those red dudes simultaneously. Usually, I like to take care of the red dudes first, due to the fact that they have rocket launchers, and the clowns, kind of like the kamikazes, are still just kind of a joke. They don't really do a whole lot. And again, the clowns are all going for these guys, so as long as you stand behind them, they won't even attack you ever. They just sort of sit around and just sort of throw stuff at you. If you want, there are a couple instances during this particular battle where the Series Bomb is quite useful. So that's the thing to consider, especially since in the next level there's going to be about, I want to say 3 or 4 Series Bombs in that level alone. So if you want, you can just use up all of them here. It doesn't really matter too much. You're going to get all of them back in the next level. At least 2 of them. A couple of them are actually quite hard to get, but 2 of them are just laying around, so they should be pretty easy to obtain. But we're just going to focus on all of these enemies which are running towards us. At this point, I'm not even worried about my health or armor at all anymore, regardless of what it would be right now. Due to the fact that most of these enemies, again, are just going to go towards the native inhabitants of this planet, and the remainder, well, they'll just die before they even come close to me, usually. So I think for the remainder of this level, we are going to be entirely okay. There's only going to be a couple more waves before the level ends. And it actually spawns a bunch of health power-ups all the way in the distance there, including a 100 health power-up. And I honestly don't know a safe way of getting them. Unless maybe you're going for them right now. Just try to keep these guys alive while you're going for those health power-ups. That might work. I've never actually tried it, but it's really dangerous to go there. For one, these guys can accidentally kill off the remaining enemies somehow. Like, it could happen. It's a thing that could maybe occur. And even if it didn't, like, it's just sort of scary to hang out there because all the enemies are spawning right there. Like, right there, that giant dude. The giant red dude and 2 little red dudes just spawn. I'm gonna shoot like 11 missiles in that direction to kill that guy. That's a lot of missiles. And he shoots missiles too, and they hurt him a lot, or they hurt me a lot more than they hurt him, and it's just, it's not a good idea, but if you want to risk it, you can grab that health, is I guess my main point. My main point is, you could, but it's not my fault if you end up dying, is all I'm saying. Is all I gotta say about that situation. I just decided to say it in a very verbose manner, due to the fact that there's just a large series of bulls which are just sort of mindlessly running around, trying to kill NPCs and not me, and giving me a little bit less to talk about. So I'm just rambling to fill time. Because I think these might actually be the last enemies, if I am not mistaken. And I do believe the level should end in a couple of seconds.
was a perfect Sunday morning, but the air smelled of trouble. Something told me this day wasn't gonna be a good one. One thing was clear, they wanted to see me. Something about a missing princess. It always is. Suspicious faces stared at me wherever I looked, from every corner of the room. But heck, I decided to play along. Was it the groom? The bloke looked suspicious, just standing there, quietly, almost happy. Or the king, hiding his true intentions behind huge shades, with a facial expression that looked like it was carved into stone. Or was it the queen? Nah, it definitely wasn't the queen, though I may have to do some further investigation into her whereabouts. Apparently, the princess had been kidnapped, and they wanted me to save her. They were also very clear about what would happen if I refused to do it. I decided to take the job. Hell, if the princess looks half as good as her mother, who knows? The day could still have a happy ending, if you know what I mean.
I guess it also helps that I just really prefer the cutscene in this level over just about all of the other ones in this place. But anyway, that was the end of level 28, I believe. And next time we play, we are going to do level 29, Flowterra. And I hope to see you there. Bye-bye.